I know I haven't put out a video in a while, but this is something that's in the news that I wanted to address. I know it's just my opinion and my take on it, but I see that there are a lot of people making videos on this, and there are a lot of videos out there, and I've watched several of them, and I draw my own conclusions, and I wanted to give you my take on the conclusions that I've drawn so far, which happen to be different than other people are drawing up. Okay, this is going to be about the Delphi murders, the two girls that something happened to out there, and my take on it, and what I think may or may not have happened at the end. Okay, also what it has to do with witchcraft and maybe Odinism. Okay, so first, before I get into anything, I want to say I feel really bad for the victims, the two lovely young girls. I want to commend the parents for teaching them about hiking and the importance of hiking and being out in nature. I think it's really hard to instill that in kids, and it was really really something for them to want to be out doing a hike the day before Valentine's Day. So, in a community that they trusted this small community with the two daughters. The two daughters were trusting the community, and the parents were trusting the community to allow these girls to go to the park by themselves, which they may or may not have done, previously. But regardless, the two young girls were at the park by themselves in a community that they trusted. Okay? And then we'll see later that there were many reasons not to trust this community. But I just wanted to put that out there first. I really admire the girls, and I really admire the parents for trying to move to a community that they feel like they could trust, and that a community that they thought they would be able to allow their daughters to go to the park by themselves if that's what they wanted to do. And I say that they did like hiking because they would not have gone across that scrawny bridge. I don't think I would have gone across that bridge. That's just a horrible looking bridge. Horrible. I don't think I would have gone across it. Okay. So they put up two sketches which don't really look alike, but and they have this video of Bridge Guy saying, "Guys down the hill." I think that there were more words that he said, like, "Hey guys, I told you to go down the hill." I think maybe that's what he said instead of what they let us hear, because as you know, law enforcement, Ellie, they try to keep things close to the vest. They don't want they don't want the public knowing things. That way, when they find someone that they think they might like for the crime, then the whole public knows what all was said on that tape, or all the details, and they don't want anyone to know any of the details. That way, when they find the guy, he's the only one that knows that stuff. Okay, so they found this guy that worked at the CVS pharmacy that kind of looks like the bridge guy. Yeah, he kind of walks like him, kind kind of sounds like him, but you know what? If I was walking on that bridge, I'd probably have the same walk too, because that's a messed up bridge, and you gotta step over the broken logs and stuff and try not to fall down into the creek there. Anyway, so I think his walk is not important to find. The way the bridge guy walked is not important to finding who did this. Okay, so now they've got this guy in jail, and he may or may not have done it, and they've got this man, this younger man who was talking to the girls online, and he probably doesn't have anything to do with it at all. He's just way too overweight to have really done anything. And here we've got 3 other girls without parents walking around in the park, and they probably go to the same school, maybe, I don't know. That should be looked into. Okay, and now they're saying that it was part of an Odinistic cult sacrifice, or child sacrifice, or probably most likely a virgin sacrifice. That would be, because these are not just little girls. These are, you know, they're 11, 12, 13 years old. They're preteen, preteen. They're not children. And I keep hearing people say it's a child sacrifice. It's not a child sacrifice. It's a virgin sacrifice. That's if that's what it was at all. Now, okay, so throughout this video, I'm going to be posting pictures of some things I found on Odinism. I've heard of Odin before, and I've heard of his kids, Loki, and what's the other one's name? Yeah, I've heard of that before, but I didn't know that Odinism was a religion, or even a recognized religion of paganism. I don't know. There's so many umbrellas in paganism, who knows? But and I was reading the other day that there are nine main umbrellas under Satanism. So we're not going to go into that right now. But they're saying that it's an Odin. Man, I don't know why I can't say this. Odinistic cult that was taken over by white supremacists, and one of the girls has a mother who was dating someone outside of her race. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. It could, but I don't know if it has anything to do with that or not. But where I was going with this, I'm gonna post here a picture of the Odinistic rules, like we do this, we do that, we don't do this, and we don't do that. And it says we want to be all that we can be. That's the main slogan on the bottom. We want to be all that we can be. So I don't think that really, unless it is like a white supremacist group that took over hostily an Odinistic group, it says this is ours and we're going to call it ours. I don't know. And I also have a friend that does bloodletting in her rituals, where she does prick her fingers and do blood sacrifice in her rituals. She is a friend of mine, and we've talked in great lengths. But I don't think it was that either, because they wouldn't have stab wounds and stuff. It couldn't, the death was the sacrifice, is what I believe, if it was a sacrifice. Okay, and then we have the branches that were laid over their bodies. One, the girl that was naked had a V and another line going this way. I did not find those pictures in Snapshot for you, but I'm sure you can find that on other videos. And then the other girl had extra clothes on, and she had a cross. It was a cross, and the crown above the head. So, you know, I took the book to John's, but I don't have that here, but I did look at it before that. So, as you know, in witchcraft, which I've already told you before, goddess poses that I think they are trying to emulate with the sticks that they laid, the sticks and branches that they laid on top of the girls. There's also something else. If you take the Wiccan star and you turn it upside down, that gives you a V, and it also gives you a line this way. If you know, they were trying to put the inverted Wiccan star and some of the branches fell off. That's what it could be. That they should look for other branches around the body. I mean, they did find them the next day. It wasn't like they found them right away. So some of the branches could have fallen off. They need to be looking for 2 or 3 branches that could have fallen off, because if that's the case, they could have been trying to make an inverted star. Another possibility. I'm not sure what the poses I showed you. That's Astara and Isis. Okay, which is, I believe, what they were trying to depict. Usually when you see pictures of Isis, you see the crown. You see the crown, and that would be the 4 sticks that they laid above her head. With her hands, you know, however it was, like a cross or like this, with her hands like that, that would put her in the Isis pose. I'm also going to include some yoga poses, well, at least one yoga pose to show you more of an Astara pose, which I'm probably not even saying it right. I mean, all I do is read, you know, and I don't know how it sounds pronounced. Okay, let's see, what else have I not covered with this? Okay, so I have studied a lot, because give me just a minute. When I was studying to make my spiritual name, I studied a lot of the witchy alphabet, a lot of the different witchy alphabets, so I know what they look like pretty much, more or less. I mean, I'm not saying that I know all of them, or that I remember all of them. I don't. But I have studied a majority of them, and I know what they look like. So, and I've also studied some of the demonic sigils, so I know what those look like. So I can say with a pretty fair certainty that those symbols that they were trying to make on the girls are not runes. Some people say they are, but those are not runes. Those are not demonic sigils. Those are nothing that I can think of, except if they're trying to make the girls look like Astara and Isis. That's the only thing that I can come up with as far as what those symbols might be. Okay, if you know more about it than I do, okay, you know, please. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that know more than I do about this, but you know, I have studied it extensively, and I just want to add whatever I can add from my experiences and knowledge. Okay, those symbols don't really mean anything. I looked before I started this video. I looked up Odin symbols, and it's basically just those three triangles connected together, and maybe one with the triangles together with circle through it. I'll put the pictures up so y'all can see them. But in none of those things did I see any symbols that look like those, that look like that. I'm also going to include a lot of the symbols that I did study that were in my book, and in another video I'll cover some of the demonic signals, so that you'll see, like, the demonic signals are, they have more detail, they have more to them. It's not just, you know, 3 or 4 lines. You know, there's lines and circles and, you know, all kinds of things. They're really, they have more detail to them. So it can't be that. So, you know, if they're saying that is what it is, and then whoever did this may just be trying to put it off on to the pagans and try to make it look like somebody else did it, try to make it look like another group did it that didn't do it. Maybe that's why the things don't match up to anything else, because they really didn't know what they were doing. They were just putting some sticks on the bodies to make it look like, oh, that's runes or something. That's not. It's not a rune. It's not anything. It doesn't match up with anything. So, you know, it may just be someone that doesn't know anything about it trying to make it look like, oh, the pagans did it. Oh, the Odinists in the area did it. You know, it may be that. Also, I don't see how Bridge Guy would not be involved, because they have his video there on the bridge saying to go down the hill, and that's where the girls were found, down the hill. There are other things about this, like if the 3 girls did it, it would have been, you know, or if it was only one person that did it, it would have been kind of tricky to control both of the girls while you were doing something or other to the other one. It would have been, you know, it would have been tricky. So I think maybe it did have to be more than one person. I think if it was the 3 girls that did it, I think that could that could be possible. You know, if they had a gun or a knife, and they, well, apparently whoever did it had a knife. But if it was more than one person, they could have said, you know, do what we say, or we're gonna kill your friend, you know, or do what we say, or, you know, this is gonna be worse for you, or, you know, whatever. It could have been, you know, just school bullies, you know, and who would think to look at 3 girls that are around the same age as the other girls that got something bad. But with this day and age, you know, all of the school shootings and all of the things that happen in schools, the bullying in schools, you know, it's a thing. It hasn't stopped. You know, and when you have more than one person doing the bullying, when you have a group of 3 or more people doing the bullying, it'll be worse. They'll do things to try to hurt the person or people in this case worse. Now, there was a thing where girls or boys who were a little heavier than the rest of the class would be the ones that got picked on. Now, whether or not they were much more, regardless, if someone in the class was fat and there was someone else in the class that was not skinny, then they had to be picked on, because then everyone in the class would know that the other one was fat. So I don't know. Okay, I don't know why bullies do what they do, but there is a thing, or was a thing, to where if some girls were a little bit heavier, they would get bullied at school, and that might be what this is. They may have only wanted to watch the girl that wasn't so skinny get harmed, and that's why they pushed the other one, and they still killed her, but they pushed her to the side and mostly focused on the one that was a little bit fatter, you know. But hey, I don't know any of this. This is just my take, just my random ideas that I'm telling you, just random ideas that I thought that I came up with. I'm sorry if I was a little bit graphic or something there, but I just wanted to let you know my take on this and some of the ideas that I had about it. And I see that my things that I came up with are a little different than I'm hearing on YouTube. So I just wanted to put that out there, and also make the connection to where it connects with witchcraft, and which it really doesn't. The only thing that might connect it is that it was outside, that it was stabbing and bloodletting, and it was outside. That's the only thing that would connect it. I know they say they found a F on a tree, and I haven't mentioned that, but I am not gonna say that looks like someone smeared the blood on there. It could just be blood splatter. So I'm not gonna go out and say, oh, somebody smeared that on there and that is an F rune. That means fortune and good luck. I'm not gonna say that that's what I think that is, because it's not. It could just be blood splatter. It could be random. You know, and if it was someone, I mean, it does kind of look like 2 lines, but it looks like it's kind of a lot, you know, like clumped, because it's kind of a lot. So it could be someone smearing it with like 2 fingers, but it's not that exact. You know, like if you had paint, it would be like a straight line, and I don't see as to where I think it looks exact. So I'm not going to say that I think that that's what that is. And then it's smeared. There's some smeared on the top, and there's some smeared around the outside of it. So I don't think that it wouldn't be smeared like that if they were trying to make an F. And what was the purpose of that? Nothing. So I'm not going to say that's what I think that is. It's probably just blood splatter. Okay, so wait till the end and I'll show you screenshots of some of the things that I found, and you know, and doing the research for this, and then I'll make a follow-up video showing you some more things that may or probably not have something to do with it. Alright, like, subscribe, comment, share. Also, let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this. Alright, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.